Hi. Well, as usual, I'm here to analyze a book, and what a book. Analysis number 4, The Book Peak Performance: How to Maintain Maximum Efficiency and Not Burn Out. I don't know about you, but I'm becoming a bit of a fan of my own performance. I just understand that everything in this life, my problems, my achievements, everything depends on me, and most importantly, on how I can cope with these problems and achievements. Either I can walk around with a sour expression on my face and generally exhausted, or I can walk around and solve these problems with maximum energy. Well, actually, that's what I choose. Therefore, if you don't just want to listen to this recording right now, but perhaps someday you will read it, I recommend this book. I highly recommend it. So, since you probably already understood from the previous post that now I'm not just reading, but also trying to write everything down in notes and implement it into life, here's what I wrote. The very first and very important moment that completely changed my attitude to work was a tool called Divide and Conquer. What does it mean? If I used to sit down at the computer and realize that I had tasks, then here they are in front of me. I start working. I worked until I felt like my back was turning into mush and my ass was turning into a piece of wood. I got up, and that's it. I realized what the hell was wrong with my body. Sharing energy helps to approach work in an absolutely systematic way. I've set aside 50 minutes to sit at my computer. Here are the tasks. I look at them. I complete them. 15 minutes is the time I set aside for rest. On vacation, these are all those tasks that are absolutely unrelated to work. I have a cat, and I pick it up, squeeze it, and make facial expressions. I need to eat, so I'm going to warm up the food. I don't know. I want to stretch, but I'm going to stretch. And I'm not thinking about work in any way. But as they say, saying and doing are completely different things. To simplify this task for myself, I immediately thought, well, why should I keep all this in my head? And did the following. I found an online alarm clock. Besides, it's completely free. The alarm clock allows you to select, for example, a 50-minute interval. And after that, when that time expires, music sounds, I jump up, set an additional 15 minutes and do completely different things. If you understand that concentration is one of the most important things, do it, implement it, use it. Please don't just listen to what I'm saying. The next item. This makes the work a little more difficult than the forces allow at the moment. What does it mean? This means that this is how our body works. To get pumped up, you need to gradually increase the load in the gym all the time. The same goes for the brain. You've probably heard 100 times that the brain is a muscle. If that's the case, then you also need to increase the load a little, but still increase it, because there won't be any growth without it. Next, point number 3, cancel multitasking just one task. In general, if you've ever had moments like this when you thought, oh, how great, I can simultaneously talk on the phone with my friend, do other things on the computer, and generally swing my left hip. No, it doesn't work that way. That is, it would seem that this allows you to use your time effectively, but this is not the case. Experimentally, well, at least as indicated in the book, it says that single tasking allows us not only to save time because we do our work efficiently, but also to enjoy it. And work and pleasure are inseparable things. Well, at least for me, and you should strive for that too. The next point is a change in attitude to stress. It's not a threat, it's a challenge. The book tells how an ordinary hard worker was walking home and saw that a poor boy had been hit by a car, and this poor boy naturally asked for help. Well, the man rushed to help, and it turned out that he lifted the car, which weighs 1.5 tons. Well, think for yourself. Let me remind you that, as it says in the book, the deadlift record is about 400-500 kg, and he lifted 1.5 tons. Not an athlete, but a person who is absolutely far from sports. And the conclusion is that this example is very revealing. Stress turns us into machines. And in an amicable way, if we treat stress not as a threat, like, oh no, stress again, what should I do about it? But this is a challenge and an opportunity to become stronger. and then we will really become stronger not only in words, but also in deeds. The next point that I also made, right now, as I read these notes from my phone, is to remove the blue screen on my phone. I have a feature in my phone that removes the blue screen. I don't have a brand new phone, and there is already such a feature here. The blue filter, reading mode, and night mode are the names of these functions for different smartphone models. What does it allow? Listen, there is a definite correlation between energy and the level of recovery of our body and mind, because these are usually interrelated things. Let's just say that if we don't get enough sleep and recover, our energy levels will be lower in the morning. Why remove the blue screen? Moreover, I started to get stupid and removed the blue screen on the computer, on the monitor. All this can also be done. What for? The fact is that the blue light that our phone and computer emit negatively affects the production of melatonin, because melatonin is responsible for how quickly we fall asleep. Accordingly, if we lack it, we start tossing and turning, fall asleep poorly, and the overall quality of our sleep changes. So, what should you change about your screen lighting? Probably nothing. The next point is to minimize selection issues. Well, you probably didn't know, but even if we open the closet and think about what clothes to wear today, it will take a lot of energy. Everything that has to do with choosing which way to go, which products to take with you, and what to wear is completely incorrect information. Well, we're going to go this way, not that way. We'll get to point B anyway, but let it be faster or longer. In any case, it's an energy-consuming question in itself. What should we wear? Well, for God's sake, take this t-shirt, put on your pants. I've been following this principle for quite some time, so write it down. If you want to spend your time more efficiently and save energy, then maybe make sets so that these trousers match this shirt, this t-shirt, so that they lie together, and this will allow you to open the closet, get it out, and put it on well and go about your business. Farther, linking work to a high goal increases productivity. What does it mean? Using the example of runners. In general, in principle, the book very often contains examples related to sports, because sports and business are, in fact, very similar phenomena. There are certain achievements in both countries, and in order to achieve these achievements, this is our tautology, we need to make great efforts. And this example of a runner's story tells us that imagine a marathon runner. He has already run 30 km, he is exhausted, he can no longer run, and the only thing that helps is when you tell yourself that your running is connected with a high goal. For example, I'm running for my father because he once believed in me, and I want to, well, somehow prove it to him. That is, you understand, not for your own sake. That is, you take your ego and push it into the background. You must strive for a high goal. The penultimate point, which I also highlighted, is a conversation with myself. What does it mean? This means that, as strange as it may sound, but in a difficult situation, you need to talk to yourself. You need to take on the role of devil's advocate. You need to take on the role of anyone but talk to yourself, because it will allow you to come to harmony, to come to a balance of your inner life. Therefore, do not be skeptical about this. I understand that all this sounds strange, in general, everything that is outside. Well, the last point, which I also implemented, but from another book, is to write down in notes at the end of the day, from 1 to 10, whether I have done everything to achieve the goal. If you have a goal, for example, to move to another country, buy yourself something, build a house, and I do not know how to make it wow, wonderful, so healthy, these are all material goals. Well, I'm just telling you this an example. If this goal is somewhere in your painting hanging on the wall, and you think that someday, maybe, I will approach it, then this is a trap. If you treat it every day as such a test, experiment and evaluate it every day, it will allow you to see an objective picture of the world. For example, today you set 2 points, at what pace you need to move to achieve your goal. Think for yourself. And if you give your best at 8, 9, 10 o'clock, it motivates you to maintain this bar every day. Wow, damn. The last recordings turned out to be quite voluminous, but very productive. I was thinking that it would be useful and interesting for me to hear something like a review. How do you like all my chatter? Does it make you better or not? You can write nasty things, for example, if you're worried about my voice, but you can also write something positive. At least something. Well, I'll hear you in the next book. But now, if you do all this, your life will definitely change, and these are not empty words. Bye bye.